you have seen here in the video, maybe it was not clear, sometimes we stopped a little bit. I escaped at the first time with my sister. So I went back to my mother's sister. And later on, my uncle realized we are there. So we were beaten, and the next time I was escaping, I didn't go to my mother's sister, because I knew I'd be beaten again. So I went to my grandfather. I told him this is a stage from childhood to womanhood, And once you are a woman, there are some things you are expected to do. You are expected to drop out of school because the next thing is marriage. And after you're married, you give birth. So I was telling him, once I'm circumcised, I cannot get that chance to go back to school. The next thing that will follow is marriage, and I want to go to school. And after I told him that, later on he had to tell my uncles, yes, just leave her alone because she wants to go on with school. And I went back to school. And after I went to school now, I went, but I was like, I did not save my sister, maybe I couldn't save her, but how will I help other girls who are there, who are suffering, and they cannot decide for themselves? They cannot say we don't want to be circumcised, or they cannot say we want to go back to school. And so I went back to school, and I finished my secondary school, that is in 2008. And at that time, there was a project by the name AMREF Nomadic Reproductive Health Project, which was working among the nomadic communities. And they came to my place. And the first entry point, if you go to a community, is the cultural elder. So they went through them. And they told them, we need a girl and a boy who can undergo the peer education training. They came to my community. Yes, there were boys who have gone to school, so they could get married. So they were given a boy to undergo the training. But if you look at girls, there was no girl who has gone to school at that time. I was the only girl who was going to school in my community. So that's how they had to choose me to send me to undergo that training. And after that, we were told to form youth groups. But if I look at my community, we don't have what we call youth groups. The thing we have is a group of men, a group of young women, a group of old women, or a group of old and young men. So you cannot find women and men as one group. You cannot discuss to them these issues as one group. One, because talking to men, a woman is not, first of all, supposed to address men in my community. And so I said that I'll go back to the cultural elders because they are the ones who chose me to undergo this training. And I went to them and I told them, I have a message, but this message is not for you, it's for the younger men. We call them morans. Morans are young men who look after livestock in the community, and they also act as security men in the community because we have wild animals. So they are the ones who have to make sure that the community is safe. And then again, these morans are allowed to have multiple sexual partners. And since they are allowed to have multiple sexual partners, it was not only important to talk to them on the disadvantages of female genital cutting in child marriage. It was also important to talk to them on HIV/AIDS issues and the importance of condom usage. I want to talk to the younger men. They told me, nice, you know very well, women are not supposed to address men in this community. So why are you coming here in the first place? You are born in this village, so you really understand what is supposed to be done and not to be done. And they told me no, and I went back. But I was really thinking, should I go back, should I not go back? But something was really telling me, you need to convince them until they allow me. So I kept on going to them. They told me no for 1.5 years. So after 1.5 years, they accepted me and they called for me one of the lead of the Morans, the chief of the Morans. And since they saw that I become a bother, disturbing them every time, now they said, yes, just for you, to get rid of you, we need to call for an So they called for me. And I went to the Morans, and it was really a shock to them because they knew very well it's really awkward for women to address men in that community. And I went to them and I started talking to them on issues of community development, issues that I knew they knew, and they were affecting the community at that time. And I could find them, they're like 20, but they will walk out and they remain like 2 of them or even one sometimes. But with patience, I waited and I gave them time, and after some time, I saw that numbers are adding up and they started being open, and we started our dialogues like that. And we started our dialogues. But on the other side, I was also talking to women and girls, and the old women, we call them traditional birth attendants. These are women who are circumcising the girls, and they're the ones who are also helping women to deliver at home. So it was also important to talk to them on the disadvantages of female genital cutting and the importance of hospital delivery. But I know there are difficult questions I will not answer because maybe there is an importance of going to clinic, but those are issues at that time and the risk of the home delivery I could not understand. So I could liaise with AMREF and they give me a health worker who can talk to these women and tell them health-wise or medical-wise what risks are there. So now with Morans, I could talk to them freely and discuss these issues of female genital cutting, including child marriage, anything we wanted to discuss on sexuality or sexual and reproductive health and rights, we could discuss. But now the problem is, decision is coming from another group, the group of old men, we call them cultural elders. And it was really hard to face them because, you know, it's like talking to, you know, your grandfather. So sometimes they'll feel like you're not even respecting them. And when I went to them at first, I told them, I don't want to talk to you, I don't have a message for you, but I want to talk to the younger men. So it was a little bit trickier to go to them. And they used the same words, are you crazy? You know this culture, you are born here, so you really understand this culture very well. But, you know, I was really like, we need to talk to them because the decision has to come from them at that period. I mean, at that time, we will not change that. So I kept on going back to them. They said, no. Until later on, after some time, they said, now, yes, let's sit down and listen to what you have. And after that, I saw now, yes, I can talk to everyone in the community. We can talk with old men, we can talk with young men and women, and also the younger women. So I saw that at least now we are one step forward. So I said now, yes, we need to sit as a community and we decide what alternative can we have to these younger girls, because they are circumcised when they are very young and they are dropping out of school, they are married when they are very young and they are giving birth when they are very young. And we see that otherwise it has so many complications. Even in terms of education, it's really affecting them because they have to drop out. And so we said as a community, and I told them that we really have problems here. Poverty cannot end here if we are not taking these girls to school. Because one of the things, if you educate a girl, the whole community has educated. And you know, it's really bringing more benefits to the community. Because at the end, even if they become the kind of people they want to become in life, they come back to the community and give it back to the community. And also for them not forgetting that education is also the best acquisition to the younger girls. And you know, also child marriage is something that is in that community. They give out girls as young as they have already been circumcised, when sometimes they are 12 years or even 13 years, you know. And you know, once she's married by another, by another family or by a man, there is dowry. Maybe you get 2 cows or 3 goats. But we really need to tell them that even educated girls bring more cows because she has grown big. She can now decide whom and when to marry, and she'll get even 20 or even more than that, many goats. And we started an alternative whereby these girls can go into women without the card. So they undergo a 2 days training and a 1 day ceremony. In the 2 days training, we really talk to them on sexual and reproductive health and rights issues, including life skills, and also the disadvantages of these harmful practices, and also the importance of education, and what the Constitution says about female genital cutting. And after that, we said that, you know, we are saying that, and in this training, we still have people from ministries. We have people from the Ministry of Health because they have to tell how medical-wise it affects women. And then again, we also have people from the Ministry of Education to put it, to see that why is it important for these girls to go to school. And the last day we have a very big ceremony whereby we say that we still have the good part of our culture. We don't want to leave it. Let's embrace it. But what is harmful, let's leave it. And in that day, people dress in a colorful way whereby they wear our traditional drinks, our traditional dresses. We have old men taking their traditional gear. And we saw that that is not harmful. Let's do it. Let's wear our kids. Let's wear our clothes. But what we don't want is the cut. So let's replace these kinds of education. Let's give girls that chance to go back to school. And also before you undergo circumcision, there is a necklace that you're given by your father. He gives you this necklace and he tells you, and you wear it 1 week before circumcision and 1 week after circumcision. And you have to give it back to your father. So when he gives you this, he tells you that I'm encouraging you. I want you to be a strong girl or to be a strong woman because I don't want you to go there and embarrass me when you cry or when there are things that you are not allowed to do when you're undergoing this girl. Yes, it's painful, but you have to be strong. You are told you are not supposed to cry. If you cry, there is no any man from that community who is going to marry you. And then the other thing, you're not even supposed to move your body or your eyes like you're not supposed to do that because you're called a coward. And then, it's a very expensive ceremony because people buy cows to slaughter and everything. It means that if you break all those rules, that food or anything that has been cooked, no one will go to it. No one is going to eat because they will say that's a cursed family. And after 2 weeks, you have to return it back to your father. And in the alternative rites of passage, you see, as you can see, this one is just a necklace. I don't think it's harmful. Maybe the message is what comes maybe out in a bad way. So in the alternative rites of passage, because it's just a beaded necklace, we still go with them. Fathers give their daughters, they tell them, we want you to be strong women and we want to encourage you. You go back to school, we're encouraging you with your books and pens. We want you to become important people, we want you to become important leaders in country. If you have a dream, go for it. If you want to become a pilot or if you want to become anything in life, go for it and make sure you become the woman of your dreams. And you're given that. And you're encouraged by it. You go back to school and really focus on your education. And on that day, we still have these circumcisers with the old women. They are there because we also want that they feel like they still own their work. So they are there. They use their hands to feel their girl's thigh, or they just touch their thighs. They don't have any knife. They don't have any sharp object or anything. So. And also we have these young men, the warriors, they also have to be there to give these girls a surety that, yes, we know you are not circumcised, and we are going to marry you the way you are without being circumcised. And everyone is there to give testimonies and to really celebrate with these girls when they are growing into women without a cut. And cultural elders are also there to bless these girls very early in the morning before the sun is out, because that is when we do our blessing. And even for them, they don't bless them to tell them we want you to be to take care of your husbands, we want you to be, wife that respect their husbands and all that. They tell them, yes, we are aware how the world is. We want you to focus with your books. We want you to become important people. We want you to change your community, because for us, maybe we didn't get that chance to go to school, but now we are giving you that chance so as you can change this community. After I did that, we saw that was before I went to the other community, that was in my community first. So before I did that, that was in 2010, we saw that girls are going to school and they are not even married off. So things are starting to change in our community. And after they saw that, they made me a leader. So they gave me a black walking stick that symbolizes leadership. It's men who are given in my community, but because of what I did to the girls in my community, they gave me that leadership stick, which is a talking stick. So if I'm here and you're standing, I can tell you, I can command you to sit down or keep quiet, don't talk. So it's a talking stick. So you can use it to do anything or any message you want to pass on to people. And after that, we saw that it was the best practice in my community. So in 2012, I got a job with AMREF and the Alternative Rights of Passage project because, you know, I was only reaching girls in my community, but now I got a chance to reach many other people, many other girls in different communities because we saw that it's the best practice. One of the things they really believed in is that change must come within communities. Any solution, if it's things that are affecting the community, they have to come from themselves. And I got a job and now I'm reaching many more girls in different villages. But even when I want to start doing an alternative, or we want to start to do an alternative rites of passage in that village, they really need to come with an alternative themselves. So we are still giving awareness, that is our work. But coming with an alternative to female circumcision has to come from them. They have to design it because one, in terms of ownership and sustainability, if they come with it, they'll see these are our girls. They are suffering, we want them to go to school. For us to own this thing, we really need to design it. And it has to be, you know, that sustainability is there because it's their thing they're proud of and they came with it. So if they see girls going to school, they are proud because they'll say, this is what we decided and it's good for our girls. The other thing is that for the 2 years that we worked with those communities, we are able to save 2,673 girls who are women or who grew into women without the cut, without pain, without crying, and without bloodshed, and without being married. You know, once you're circumcised, you have to drop out of school and you're married off. But the alternative is giving them that chance to go back to school and become the women of their dreams. And we've done that in the communities, and it's really being picked, and other communities are learning from those ones as the best practice. And the other thing is that, we usually only have very simple messages, and they are only three to them. Education is the best circumcision to a girl child. And then the other thing is that educated girl brings more cows. You know, for us, we really value cows. It's something you pay dowry with. So if you tell someone from a community, yes, the cows are going to work, it's something big to do. And you know that girl, right, at that age, she can decide whom she wants to marry. She doesn't, it's her choice. That is how she wants to stay. And then the other thing is that if you educate a girl, you have educated the whole community, because you are seeing communities whereby girls and women have gone to school, there is no poverty in that community. Maybe just when I'm ending, yes, if you have any questions, I'm sure maybe you can ask. And then the other thing, I'm not just saying that it's education to make someone stronger. Yes, you can become a strong woman without education, but you can only become a stronger woman with education.
L'ultima cosa che voglio dire è che le donne forti, non dedicate ce ne sono, ma quelle più forti sono quelle istruite.
Certo. For all the strong women are happy.